Hello YouTube. What you see here is a Mac Pro from early 2008. And it is now my Mac Pro, in fact. This is a very exciting day indeed. I finally got hold of a Mac Pro. And it's finally mine. Used to have a gaming PC. It was standing right there. That is where this Mac Pro is going. Picked it up yesterday. Played around with it for a little bit today, and I decided to make a video right now, even though it's in the evening. I just, don't really give a shit, and the lighting is pretty okay right now. And plus, I have a flashlight, so you can see the fans through that gorgeous front of this Mac Pro. As you can see right there, we got the two optical bays. One is populated, one is not. Got a power button there. Headphone jack, two USB 2.0 ports. FireWire 4 and 800. That is it. Very basic, very clean look. Pretty much the same case design as the Power Mac G5 in terms of stuff on the outside. Just some extra stuff like an extra optical bay, some extra ports, and all that good stuff. But basically the same design. Apple did this with more products. They also used the PowerBook G4 aluminum design for their first generation of MacBook Pro. Up until the unibody, I believe in 2009 or so. So let's take a look at the back here. I'm sorry for any shakiness in the video. You got a power supply up here. Great overbuilt power supplies. Here's a USB 3 card. This is a Radeon HD 7950 Mac Edition from Sapphire with 3 GB of RAM. I used to have a 7950 in my gaming rig, so I'm not, wasting any performance there in that regard. 3 USB 2.0s here, FireWire 4 and FireWire 800, 2 optical audio ports. I believe that's a line in or a line out, not quite sure. Speaker and 2 gigabit Ethernet ports. There's really not much else on the outside. The only thing I can really say is that this thing is quite in mint condition, really. Just needs a good cleaning, a bit dusty, a bit grimy. That's pretty much it. So, you know what? Let's get to the internal, shall we? Okay, for the people out there that have never seen a Mac Pro before from the inside, this is what it looks like. If you're familiar with the Power Mac G5, you would notice that there is no longer, big G5 logos here, and the CPUs are no longer here. CPUs are under here in just this small compartment, and this is the fan that cools it. Here are the RAM risers. I'll try to pull one out for you, if I can. I cannot. Okay. Well, let me just take a look at them then. There you can see all the RAM modules in here. There are 8 modules currently in this Mac Pro. I've got, there are all 8, there are 8 1 gigabyte modules. 4 of them are DDR2 fully buffered DIMMs at 800 MHz DDR2, and the other ones are 667 MHz fully buffered DDR2 DIMMs. So that's a total of 8 gigs. Had a couple of broken modules in here. When I picked up this Mac Pro, it only saw like 4 gigabytes of RAM, and the owner told me we always use this thing in his recording studio, and he bought a new late 2013 Mac Pro, the trash can design. And it really hurt him to, get rid of this guy, but it took up so much space in his studio, and he just wanted to find a good owner for it. And I got it for very cheap, and I love this design, and I really got it for really cheap. This video card was not original when I got it. I got this Mac Pro with the Radeon HD 4870, which is already a great upgrade, and I also got the stock HD 2600 XT. So yeah, that's all pretty nice. My girlfriend had this card in her Mac Pro, and she figured that this one would make better use of the performance. So she gave it to me, and I gave her the 4870 and the HD 2600, plus of course some money, because this card is much more expensive than those two even combined. So it was all a good deal, and I got this 7950. And it looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. On the inside there's not really much to see here. And, other stuff here, well, got the drive bays. First one is the boot drive. Has a Western Digital Caviar SE 320 gigabyte drive. Bay 2 is my 2 terabyte drive. Bay 3 is my, or is a 1 terabyte Seagate drive, and this last one is a 500 gigabyte Hitachi drive that has Windows on it. Runs Windows 7 and OS 10 Yosemite, or Mavericks is gonna run Yosemite soon. Already ordered an SSD and a dock for it, so I could actually use the SSD in this actual original mount. Most people would just pull out the optical drives and you know, route some SATA cables behind Bay 1, because there are 2 SATA ports actually on the motherboard that you can still use. So in case you want to use those for the optical drives, because those are IDE. So yeah. But yeah, ample storage in here. So that's like there's almost 3 terabytes in there, or almost 4 terabytes, I mean. So yeah. Yay for maths, anyway. So yeah, there's that USB 3 card, by the way. Looks like it needs some kind of Molex power, but apparently it works just fine. It's just a little bit buggy in terms of drivers, but you know, it's not a native Mac card, so I guess that's to be expected, but it's a nice touch. Got this whole package for just 525 euros. That's pretty cool. Sold my game PC for 450, so didn't really have to pay all that much to get this thing. And it's an upgrade too, because the specifications, you know, 8 gigs of RAM, has the 7950 graphics card, and you know, a lot of storage. And SSD is coming in as well, so you know, so good. And it has dual quad-core 2.8 GHz Xeon CPUs, a Harpertown core with 12 megabytes of level 2 cache each. So I guess I would compare to a Core 2 Quad Q9000 series. I believe that's the Yorkfield or something. Not quite sure on those. In the heyday of the Core 2 Quad, I was still running an Athlon 64X2, so I never really got into that stuff very well. Anyway, so let's actually boot her up, and then I'll, once it's booted up, we'll actually take over on screencast and show you some stuff that I already have running on it. So you can get an idea on what I am using this Mac for so far, and what I'm going to use it for. So let's do that. Okay, the recording from when I was actually booting it up actually got fucked up somehow. So yeah, it's already booted up and already in the middle of editing actually. Just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's booted up. And I wanted to point out that it also got some extras with it. I'm just, you know, using this mouse for now because I'm more comfortable with it so far. I also got this Apple Mighty Mouse and this Apple Pro keyboard. I've still got, you know, that chiclet style keyboard that Apple made back there. As you can see, right behind the Mini there. So yeah, but so far I like this Apple Pro keyboard a hell of a lot more. It doesn't seem like it's been used much. Nowhere to speak of at all, which is good. Only downside is the Scandinavian layout, as you can see, with all these weird characters right there. So, you know, but it doesn't matter. I can type on it just fine because I know the frickin' default QWERTY layout. But yeah, let's actually do a screencast here so you can see what kind of stuff I've got on here and what I'm going to use it for. Okay then, we're at the Mavericks desktop. If we click on About This Mac, you can see here OS 10 version 10.9.5, Mavericks, 8 gigs of RAM, 2.8 GHz quad-core Intel Xeons. Got our Mac Pro here. All of the memory bays are actually populated at the moment. And I actually want to go to the system profiler here. We've got a Pioneer DVD-RW drive. It's a super drive, of course. Let's see what we get in terms of SATA. There we go. We got an Western Digital right here. It's a Caviar 320 gig. This is my 2 terabyte Western Digital green drive that I salvaged from my gaming PC. Got a 1 terabyte drive here and a 500 gig drive right there that contains Windows. Let's actually answer that message. And my Moto G is actually connected right now to my Mac Pro, so I can actually get the video data off of it. And here is the video card, AMD Radeon HD 7950, 3 GB of RAM, in the X16 slot, PCI Express. The Mac Pro 2008 actually has PCI Express 2.0, so I'm actually taking full advantage of the bandwidth, even though it couldn't even, fully populate that anyway. So stuff I've got installed, not really all that much to see. I've got Peer in here as an add-on for QuickTime, so I got some more codec support, which is also very convenient. And in terms of resource we're using currently, it's kinda using the CPU pretty heavy because I'm actually screencasting here. And the temperatures are actually, rising a little bit here. For some reason I can only check the offset from the maximum temperature, I think, and not actually look at the actual temperature. Don't know though, seems to work just fine. Got plenty of resources left. Memory usage is not all that high at all, so that's pretty good. Hard drives are barely any use on them. Macintosh HD is being read and written to at the moment. OS X data partition is totally empty. That's what I'm actually going to use this video for. I'm actually putting that on there and editing it. WinData disk, that's just a data disk for Windows, and Boot Camp is my Windows drive. Got Windows 7 Ultimate 64-bit installed on there, so I can actually run my games if I want to, and just use macOS for everything else. So you got all your standard programs, Office 2011, of course Google Chrome to browse the web and watch YouTube videos and whatnot, because we got everything synced in my Google account. So, and I've got the Adobe Suite CS5. I've got CS6 or the new CC Suite, because they are a bit more difficult to crack and I just can't be arsed, so I'm going to use this version. Works just fine for me. So that's pretty much it. So what am I really going to use this Mac Pro for? Well, gaming in the first place, I'm going to still actually continue playing games, and to have a dedicated Mac finally to actually use for productivity work, and watching videos, editing videos, doing productivity and all that good stuff. So pretty much Windows is just going to be my gaming OS, dedicated to that, and everything else I'm going to do on Mac OS now. Once I get the SSD in, well, of course make an upgrade video on that, and then I will upgrade to the latest version of Yosemite that's available, so I can actually, step right in as soon as it releases, so I can just upgrade from the beta version to the final release without too much hassle. Because I don't really want to go through the whole mess of actually reinstalling Mavericks and then, waiting a week and then actually installing Yosemite on top of it. I don't believe in upgrading from Mavericks to Yosemite. I'd rather just, upgrade from the beta to the full version, so I don't really have to reinstall all my programs and all that good stuff. But yeah, for now, this is my OS X Mavericks installation. This has been my video on my early 2008 Mac Pro that I got, which is now my main machine. Hope you all enjoy this video. I thank you all for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It's there, so why the fuck not? Have a nice day.